You have written a book. It is Babangida's story. More praised and condemned the book is, the better, because it means that it is being read. And that is what you write a book for, to be read. That is what justifies the discipline and effort that go into writing a serious book, which I strongly believe this book is.
I interested you in the army. You joined the army and you served very, very well. You served very, very well. And it got to the stage whereby at the end of the war, my youngest brother, late Isaiah, came and told me about this, his commander. Very good leader, very good commander, very courageous, brave, and that he was really unexceptional. He spoke well of you. It made me feel, well, this is certainly a young man that I would like to come to work with me. Honestly, and I know the amount of work you have done.
Today is a special day, and some of you will be surprised why I should stand up. You know, in the committee of the presidents, I am the most junior. So I'm only waiting when President Tinubu will finish serving. So that when we go for a council of state meeting, I'll get somebody that will sit by my left. Thank you. Today is a great day, and I wouldn't take much of your time. President Babangida brought us today to celebrate his history of service in the launch of a book, A Journey in Service, and also to launch his presidential library. These are two noble things. We've not read the book, so just like in those days when they were selling drink, they say liquid content only. So we can talk about the bottle, not the liquid contents. So Abraham Babangida, we all know, has been one of the most charismatic leaders in this country. He's somebody that, up to date, people go as if they are going on pilgrimage to consult him. In terms of your leadership, Nigerians know you contributed significantly in terms of the infrastructural development of this country and the social mobilization. We cannot write the history of Nigeria without dedicating a reasonable part to your service as the President of Nigeria. You've done well. And of course, we are launching his memoir today. It's a significant document. The keynote speaker mentioned that, so I don't need to overemphasize. Every president makes history. And other key historical factors make history, but they don't contribute to the documentation. And if you contribute to the documentation of the history, it makes your history stronger, more relevant, and more factual.
The author also gives his own account of his much talked about dramatic encounter with Dimka, the leader of the coup that led to the assassination of the then head of state, General Murtala Mohammed. He recalls that Dimka was holed up at the broadcasting station immediately after the assassination of the then head of state, General Murtala Mohammed. The author relates how, not knowing that there had been a coup attempt, he arrived for a meeting with General Akinriyade at the army headquarters. And as he sauntered into the top floor of the building, the general shouted at him, "Ibrahim, where the hell have you been? We've been looking for you. You must now go and see TY immediately." Convinced I was being sought after, and I'm quoting him now, because of our ongoing meeting on the Army's reorganization, I looked at my wristwatch and told the general, I'm still on time. It's not even 9 a.m. yet. General Akinriyade shouted back at me, "Who's talking of a meeting? Haven't Haven't you heard what has happened? The head of state has just been assassinated. And Major Dimka has made a broadcast claiming to have taken over. He then went to General Danjuma's office, and the author writes that General Danjuma's instructions to me when I met with him were unambiguous. Go to the radio house and flush Dimka out of that place immediately. When he got to the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation radio house at Ikoyi in an armored column, we noticed that Dimka's men surrounded the place, primarily young officers who were part of the plot, including his ADC, Second Lieutenant Samuel Gaba. As I got down from my armored vehicle, unarmed, and approached the building, Dimka's ADC, Gaba, attempted to stop me. By now, Dimka had spotted me from the story building, and he screamed, "Ibrahim, I'm going to shoot you." I shouted back, "Well, that's okay. If you shoot me, you know my family. You'll take care of them. They'll become your responsibility. I have no problem. It would be nice to die in the hands of a friend." After a pause, Dimka soberly replied, "Come upstairs, come upstairs." And Dimka was indeed a close friend. One of the groomsmen at my wedding to Mariam in Kaduna in 1969. When I got upstairs, I could tell from his breath that he had had a lot to drink. The stench of alcohol around him and his voice was pungent. Then suddenly his ADC, also visibly drunk, nervously showed up and suggested that Dimka take me hostage and use me as a bargaining chip with the government. Dimka angrily screamed at Gaba and chased him out. Once Gaba scampered out, Dimka and I settled for a frank discussion. In doing so, I reminded him of the need to keep things under control, avoid flaring tempers in the circumstances we had found ourselves in. First, he wanted to know if I had come to trick him into some form of surrender. When I convinced him that was not my mission, he calmed down and listened. He said he wanted a change of government. He even attempted to persuade me to join in the attempt. But even as he made that intolerable request of me, it was apparent from his body language that he knew that the game was up. Then his tone started to change. Could I guarantee his safety? Could I negotiate a written amnesty for him and all his co-plotters? Again, as I had done earlier, I pleaded with him to give himself up and avoid any form of conflagration that could kill civilians and soldiers. That chit-chat went on for some time, and I appeared not to be making a headway. But I left him with a promise to return later. I returned to brief General Danjuma on my encounter. Danjuma was furious. He ordered me back to the radio house with a reiteration of his earlier instructions: flush Dimka out of that place immediately. I returned to radio house with Chris Ugokwe, better equipped and prepared. I'll leave you to read what happened next. Buy the book.
My relationship with Ibrahim, forgive me for calling him my Ibrahim, has gone a long way, over 80 years. I think the popular argument was, who is older? But now I think it has been settled. About you, you are older. Your Excellencies, I want to thank you for honoring my brother, my friend, my prefect, my head boy, my commander-in-chief. I want to thank Your Excellency Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida for putting down your memo. I think it will go a long way in enriching the history of this country. Congratulations.
Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief, Your Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Asiwaju of the universe, and the Jagaba of Niger State. I wouldn't say Borgu alone. Your presence here today is not just a matter of convenience, but as testament to the significance of this event. I sincerely appreciate you have taken time from your busy schedule to share this moment of memory with us. Your presence is not just invaluable, it is very essence of this gathering, and I am eternally grateful. Mr. President, you are able to attend this event today means a lot to me personally. As you know only too well, you have my blessings, prayers, and goodwill in your arduous task of moving our country forward. Undoubtedly, credible, free, and fair elections were held on June 12, 1993. However, the tragic irony of history remains that the administration that devised a near-perfect electoral system and conducted those near-perfect elections could not complete the process. That accident of history is most regrettable. The nation is entitled to expect my impression of regret. As the leader of the military administration, I accept full responsibility for all decisions taken under my watch. And June 12 happened under my watch. Mistakes, oversights, and missteps happened in quick succession. But I say in my book, in all matters we acted in the supreme national interest so that Nigeria could survive. Our nation's march to democracy was interrupted, a fact that I deeply regret, but Nigeria survived and democracy is still alive, a testament to our resilience and commitment to progress.
I want to emphasize that our goal today is to raise enough money, enough funds to bring this library to life.
Congratulations to, as we know him, IBB for this book launch. It's a bold move indeed. Now, on behalf of the Nigerian Governors Forum, all our members, we're going to make a handsome donation, which I will not announce, but you'll get your alert in the month of March.
The President, Commander-in-Chief, Senator Tinubu, my brother, my good friend, General Babangida. I knew you since 1979. He made me what I am today. Without you, I could have been a dead man for a long time. He brought me up. Through you, I knew all the military governors in Nigeria. Babangida had no enemy anywhere. All the big men, as he he brought all of us up. It's sheer. Now I'm very grateful. I'm going to give you 500 million. Oh, what you are giving us, we are giving. So first time, we are doing something for you. May God bless you.
First Heart is as chairman of Fidelity Bank, and we will pledge, well, I think we've already donated 50 million naira for the launch of the book. But I must beg your indulgence to tell a story which I believe illustrates the person and humanity of General Babangida. I hope you remember this occasion, sir. Many years after you left office, my father, Professor Chike Obi, came to visit you in Minna. After the visit, you walked him out to the door and you said, "Where's your car, where's your driver?" And my father said, "I took the public transportation, I don't have a car." And immediately, you asked your driver to drive up in your car, a Peugeot 504, and you gifted my father that car on that occasion. He told us the story. He told the story to the rest of his life. We, the Chike Obis, have appreciated you for that gesture of goodness and humanity. And so I, as a person, trying to figure out what a 504 will cost today, will pledge 100 million personally to your library. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I would like to stand right here and thank you so much for what you did for Nigeria. A lot of people, they actually don't know, they are not aware. You are the one that established the private sector in Nigeria. Anybody in private sector today that is somebody was actually created by you. Reason why you gave us licenses, I remember that we used to struggle to go and get licenses through Indians. Your Excellency, in 1986, you abolished the requirement of import licenses, and that is why we grew to the highest level. For that singular act that you did, that is why Nigeria has more private sector than the entire African continent. I know that this project is going to, with what I've seen, is going to take minimum, I think, about 4 years to deliver this. And Your Excellency, I want to contribute 2 billion naira every year for the next 4 years, which is 8 billion.
Our heartfelt appreciation goes to all the distinguished guests who have come to support this cause. Your presence and generosity in advancing the Presidential Library fundraising demonstrates a collective commitment in preserving history and fostering intellectual growth.
Your Excellencies, it is very difficult to find the array of people that are present here, if not because of your personality, character, and impact on our people. General Ibrahim Babangida, without you, people like me, I won't be in politics. Your progressive revolution, to say that you want young, brilliant people in politics, we are with you in Jordan Barrack. You inspired some of us. And when you look at the programs, some of the bankers and many of us that were here today about this library, about the project, it's all the happiness of a visionary Babangida. Thank you for what you are. It's not just an ordinary day for Nigeria. The book I've not read, I've taken my copy, and I will read it. One thing I cannot forget, you are in office. You recalled we were elected. You kept on postponing the inauguration. You summoned us to Abuja. And when we became rancorous, you summoned us to the International Conference Center. I was not expecting to make any comment. I was just listening in my own radical manner that this man will not inaugurate us again. But before we returned to the hotel, the hotel was locked. No key. But when I was summoned by Daily Cole to make a remark, I confronted you. That you had an opportunity to make history that day. and you failed to do it, why not inaugurate us? Why are you calling us back and postponing the inauguration day? They thought I will end up in jail. You came out right at the end of the remark. You shook me. I can't forget that picture. You said, you are courageous. That's an inspiration that is so impactful in my own life, just for what you are. The few hours to set a day like this and put it together, for you, you deserve it.